as of today, on this beautiful day, on this beautiful Saturday, that is my less comprehensive guide of showing anyone how they can publish their own book in 6 weeks or less at any given time, from just content to format to submission, and how simple the process truly is. So there's never a reason to get overwhelmed, just knowing that you can make something extremely magic and it all comes from you.
You're so good, young lady.
Thank
You
you.
are
Thank you.
so
Thank you.
good.
Yeah, man, that was great.
I appreciate it. I
Less
definitely appreciate
comprehensive. That was completely comprehensive.
it.
And
And
straight to the point. I love it.
yeah, I thank y'all for y'all's time as well, for taking the time to listen, for even recording it. Since this is the first time I'll say that I've gone through with vocalizing and verbalizing, even what my ebook is, or just educating people or showing anyone how simple it could truly be. And so this is an experience that I've enjoyed a lot, really.
Oh, thank you. Well, I did look and I did think, how'd she get it on Barnes and Noble? When you were sharing the links, and it does absolutely elevate the
Mm-hmm.
perception of you as an artist. Do you know what I mean? Because it makes
Absolutely.
you look a different level. And even since when I put my books together,
Mm-hmm.
I and I'm a lot older than you, so I should, but I didn't really think about the importance of that in terms of being taken seriously by it. Does change people's view of you when you go, I've got a book. So yeah, you really impressive, and everything you said, I know to be true because I've been through bits of that myself. I think on KDP you've got to have a minimum of 72 pages for them to print it, and then as you say, is it over 100 to have a spine? To
Yes.
have
Yes.
a
In order to have the spine, it has to be over 100 because it won't be thick enough. And this is a
yeah,
smaller spine. It's a smaller margin size. And if it doesn't have at least the required margin size, then it won't have the spine.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because
And
my
the
show you the opposite
mm-hmm.
of the goddess Anahata. So mine is, sorry, my hands aren't working properly. So this is the proof of my training manual. Um, and as you can see, there's no spine. There's nothing written on it. I think this probably is literally 72 pages. So it is
Mm-hmm.
when I saw the spine stuff, was that a challenge? It looked challenging in truth. Is it fiddly?
Honestly, yes. It's very fickle when you're creating the spine. And what I started doing is using Canva. I used Canva to create my cover art and first do the formatting. My second book, I went from Canva to Adobe Photoshop, and that's another trick, another hack for individuals is to utilize both. Use Canva, and then you'll download what you say from Canva, put that on Adobe Photoshop, and then finish your size formatting and what then your spine size formatting and spine length formatting, because KDP will let you know they'll put all of the dots and the margins on there. Okay, this is not going to work. It's out of the margins. This text is out of margin. Your spine, it has to be moved over just a little bit. So you may have to go back and tweak it. You'll have to go back and move the words over or shrink the font. And when I was going through my first book and a little bit of my second, because this entire cover art worked well when submitting to the large distributor, Ingram Spark. Since Amazon KDP is so fickle, I had to go back and adjust it, shrink the font, move it to the left, raise it up a little bit, take the logo, bring it up some, shrink it. So that was a lot when creating the spine, but you get more leeway and you get more room if your book has more pages. If it's 150, or no, I won't even say 150. Yeah, if it's 150 or to 200 pages, obviously your spine is going to be bigger. Your margins are going to be bigger, so you have more space. So those are just things to be cognizant of as well. And where the middle part is, where is the actual center of it? Do they want it centered or a little bit off to the left? based on what their formatting looks like on their screen. But they always let you preview it, and they won't even sort of let you submit it until it's in line, until the tiniest word that's off a little bit, until that's in line in the spine, it won't even let you submit. So it's a hassle, but they do it for good reason, to make sure that nothing's cut off and nothing looks wacky.
Yeah, absolutely. And the sense of achievement when you actually get it. It's like a party, isn't it? Yeah.
When I first got it in the mail, I was over the moon, honestly, considering that my book is even called Lunar Eclipse and it's about the moon. I was so happy when I first got it in the mail, really, that everything I did actually worked. It actually came into fruition, that the creation actually is here. It went from thought to real so fast. And I do like the speed at which KDP can help an author do that without the extra steps of what you would have to do from Ingram Spark, or using extra money to buy your own ISBN and things like that. The only money that you'll have to put up front, if you don't have it, is just enough to order your own proof copy, because KDP won't give you that for free. You have to pay for that yourself. Other than that, your overhead is low to zero.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very good point,
Mm-hmm.
because I had zero. I had zero to spend on it.
Mm-hmm.
And the proof is cheap, and then you can order author's copies, can't you? So
Yes.
people can order it online, but you can order. So I intend to, when I do an event, whenever that is, order maybe 100.
Absolutely.
Sell them yourself then, can't you? Just
Absolutely. Yes, you can do that and order as many as you want from your own KDP account. And of course, just making sure that they're not author copies that you're ordering, because then they'll have this gray not resale bar on them. So just making sure that you order your own. And other tricks that I've learned along the way, outside of the whole simple spiel of making a book, is not to choose something called expanded distribution on KDP, because expanded distribution is putting your book on the other retailers, but KDP takes an extra fee on top of the royalty fee that they already take for doing that. So publishing also through Ingram Spark, which is a major distributor, they'll do it. Choose expanded distribution. They'll put you on all markets, all platforms, all major online retailers, and they don't charge you for that. They just do it once you hit that button, and that increases your professional visibility. And it also doesn't have any additional cost to you, which is the part that I like the most about using both. Never to be mistaken. It's not one or the other. It's both, depending on what you want to do.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Now, the Ingram Spark, is that the name of the other company? So what does the process look over there? So you're saying, I'm asking to go and do everything through Amazon KDP, which I'm published on KDP as well. So hey. And it was very vicarious getting it together, and I'm still working through making my hard copy, because it's an ebook format, and it's because of the formatting. And it was like, if it's not the right way, then I don't even want to. But I'm so with it when you say, okay, go to this publisher and then do the expanded distribution, and then they're not taking the extra royalties. So what does that process look like, being published through them, signing up to, and all that good stuff?
Okay, that sounds good. So it's free to sign up through Ingram Spark. Absolutely. When using that platform, it's best practice to have purchased your own ISBN and your own barcode, because Ingram Spark books, they actually, since it's a book that they'll be printing and selling for you, you should have your own barcode on it already. And that is what you get through Bowker. So once your cover has that on it, all you're doing is making a free account. You'll either let them know that you're signing up as an individual, or you're signing up through an LLC, through a publishing company. Free account. Once you make your account, the guide to submission is pretty similar. You go in, I'm submitting a new work. You put in all of the information, put in your own ISBN number, because, again, those are the tools that you need, the actual steps that you need outside of KDP giving it to you for free. Once you fill in all your information, submit your cover, and submit your manuscript, Ingram Spark will also analyze it and tell you that it's too small or it's too big, your cover art, or if you have complex images that may print in low resolution, or if your text isn't in readable format, or if your format isn't actually in the proper book format. They'll let you know those things. What Ingram Spark won't do is show you the margins like KDP will. They won't show you how to fix it. They'll just tell you what needs to be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
And once you can figure out that part, then all of the submission process is exactly the same. They'll let you know that it's been submitted. Once it gets approved through them, they'll send you an email letting you know that it's approved, and you can review and preview it online, and then order yourself a proof copy to make sure. And then once you've done that, make sure that you like how Ingram Spark will print it. That's the best place to order your bulk copies, where you can order 10 copies, 50, you can order 5, you can order 100 copies of your book, and they print them a lot faster, honestly, since you're ordering so many. Or like SuperNatural C was saying, with hosting an event and you want to order a bunch of bulk copies, getting them from Ingram Spark is my go-to because of that no barrier. You can sell your book also through Ingram Spark, but that is a platform mostly for just ordering your copies and hosting your book for that print. So the process, all simple, all free account. Just make sure you have your own ISBN and your own barcode actually already on your cover once you're going through and printing with them. Size and format is honestly pretty much the same. So once you can get your book formatted properly through KDP, then that takes all of the guesswork out of anything that you'll have to do with Ingram Spark, since you said that's the part you're figuring out now, is how to take your ebook, since it's formatted like an ebook, like a Kindle. Once you can get the format how you like it to either make a paperback or a hardcover, you can take exactly the same PDFs and just submit them to Ingram Spark. Everything free, full account is free. Only thing you pay for is your actual copies, and they definitely charge you shipping. But other than that, and they charge you shipping per the size of your order. If you're ordering 10 copies, your shipping will be a little heftier than if you're ordering 5 copies, or if you're ordering 100, it'd be a little more. Other than that, that's standard. But there's no absolute difference, just with the way that KDP hosts your book versus how Ingram Spark hosts your book.
Okay. My next question would be about the ISBN and barcode, because KDP does provide that service for you.
Right.
So when you say best practice, what are the benefits? Like, what is the difference between getting it done through and getting the assigned ISBN and barcode through KDP, which that's what I have done, and going through the other B?
Yeah, Bowker, absolutely.
Right? And going through them, and what is the rationale, what is the reasoning for that being the best practice for going over to Ingram Spark?
Okay, that's actually a good question. With a KDP barcode, basically that's only hosted through Amazon. And that's the big part, is that because Amazon assigned it to you, it's not valid anywhere else. Let's say you want to get your book in a bookstore. You can't take your Amazon ISBN and use that as the same validity to get your book in a bookstore. You can't use that publicly, and people can't search that ISBN up in multiple places or across multiple platforms and still find your book, because it's not an international standard. Even though it says ISBN, your book can be found more easily or found at all using one that you purchase and own on your own versus KDP. That's just their hosting platform for individuals who don't have it. and their books can be found just on Amazon. Using Bowker to actually buy it means you own it. It's like the social security number literally for your book. So it can be found anywhere on any online service. Let's say somebody buys your book and they want to resell it on Thrift Books. Using the ISBN you got from Bowker, that's the one that you can actually put in there, and your book can be found on any database, unlike the Amazon barcode. It's just a host on that platform.
That makes perfect sense. That makes perfect. Now, only if you did the what was the name of it? Expanded distribution.
Yes.
Then the barcode for Amazon will work wherever they expand the distribution.
Right. Yeah, if you choose expanded distribution
only that way. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Absolutely.
I get what you're saying.
For sure. And that's why I chose, for sure, off top to go that extra mile in the beginning, even though I was still figuring out all of those steps. How do I actually do this? I knew that I wanted it to be global. I didn't want any limitations on my book. So I bought that first before I went to Amazon. So when it had the option, do you have your own or do you need us to supply one? I have my own. And it already has the barcode on it so that there's no barrier when anybody's buying it. This is the same barcode and the same ISBN number that they'll find on every single book, no matter where it is. If the books get sold to small bookstores and 10, 15, 20, 30 years later, this is the same one, that there's no variation and no differentiation early on.
Beautiful. Beautiful. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Also, well, one more thing. Well, I got my book in a local bookstore. It's an independent bookstore. You have to have your own ISBN. And the thing with having both, and not to be mistaken, if you choose Bowker.com to purchase your ISBN, you then also have to choose the choice to buy the barcode in addition to it. Because if you just buy the ISBN, you'll only have the number and you won't have a scannable barcode to go with it. And that allows your book to be tracked, because you can also get your book, a good thing with Ingram Spark, they'll help you get your book in Target, they'll help you get your book in Walmart and actually in stores. But you need a barcode so it can actually be scanned at the POS. And without that, then you kind of don't have it. So what I did with getting this one, went to the independent publisher bookstore, got my book in the bookstore. They asked me, make sure, okay, does your book have an ISBN? Does it have the barcode? Everything was yes. So when they scan it, Ingram Spark also will track all of your sales because you're using a global barcode that you bought from the social security number of books, which is Bowker.com. So anywhere your book is scanned, whether it's Target, whether it's Walmart, whether it's an independent bookstore, Ingram Spark can track that. They can also track your sales as well, which is really helpful for a lot of people. And it shows just how expanded the reach is going. So not only am I getting the credits from the bookstore, since it is a 70-30 royalty split from all of my sales at the bookstore, Ingram Spark tracks that for me. Every time the barcode is scanned, gives me those analytics, lets me know how my book is being sold. And when you do that, you're able to keep better track of what your book is doing as it's growing, because Ingram Spark always tracks that information. Since you submit it through them, they can house that database of all your information.
I love that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I love the fact you did the research at the beginning. I love the fact that because it basically is that simple thing of you get out what you put in, because it is frustrating, and it is like, it's a lot easier now, obviously, in the world that we live in, to access information, but it still is a process, and it still is a learning curve. And I love that you just attacked it. You didn't let the issue become too big to solve. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Really, just from concept to release, it almost felt like it, but I knew that this is something that I was not going to give up on. The idea to make and really make a book and start a publishing company I had in 2021. It wasn't until the end of 2022 that I actually decided this is what I'm going to do and started working on the book at the top of 2023. So from really January 2023 to July of 2023, when Lunar Eclipse released, that was me figuring out everything from scratch. So I took 7 months to make it a 6-week guide. And once I got it down, I realized how fast it can really be from such a simple process. But when you're not knowing anything and not able to ask anyone any questions, that makes it take that much longer. So I definitely appreciate that. And I was determined to put in the work to take that extra step to know what it would take and even the benefits or the drawbacks, the best parts and the worst parts of using each thing and what that would feel like and what that is like during that 7-month process versus figuring it out on the back end. Because figuring it out on the back end, I knew that there would probably be things that I skipped, or if I skip something, dang, I can't really go back and fix that. Or if I do this part, if I buy this ISBN and attach it to a book that I don't have a barcode on, now I have to buy a whole nother ISBN because you cannot change ISBNs. You can't switch them. And you have to have a different one for every single format of your book. Paperback, hardback, ebook have to have 3 different ISBN numbers. You cannot use the same one. Even if it's the same book, each format has to have their own because it's tied specifically to what that book is. And I didn't know that up until I was almost about to do it. But I didn't do it, thank goodness. But that came from the research on figuring even that part out.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, efforts are so appreciated. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Go ahead, sis.
I was just going to say, on a spiritual level, taking it to that high level, this is a lesson in that practice of just going into the unknown, that jumping off the cliff. You know, as long as you take the steps and you are able to receive, the guidance will come. Because, you know, how were you to know that you needed an ISBN for all 3 formats? Because you were guided at the last minute before you the knowledge comes, you know what I mean? The fear, exactly. If we don't realize we're tapped in, we're tuned in, then we think we've got to figure it out. But we don't have to figure it out. We just need to move.
Exactly. I had a download a little while ago from the Most High, and it sounded just like this. It was the Most High telling me to jump, literally. And then I wrote a piece, and it goes, and God said, jump. And without words, I dove head first, fearlessly, knowing that God would catch me. God replied with his hands open as I looked up, "You're ready, my child." And that's literally what it means. That's it. If you don't question it, his hands are already like right here. They're already ready to catch you. The Most High, the universe is already ready to be in compliance with you as long as you relinquish that control. Don't ask the questions outside of what you actually need to know. It's just the test to see if you actually are as faithful as you say you are. And once you can prove that you have that faith and have that ability to trust without the questions, then the universe will let you know that you're ready for the next step. But you won't be ready until you prove that you can trust with full faith.
Ashe.
Ashe.